Welcome back, folks. We're going to be playing another battle here in Grand Tactician. However, I wanted to play in a state my family has a rich history in, and that is in Kentucky. In fact, if you don't know this, I'm actually related to the Dalton gang. Distant, of course, since it's been a few hundred years, or a couple hundred years anyway. But we're going to actually be playing as the Confederacy here in the Battle of Perryville. This is one of those battles that's just not talked about. It's not often focused on, but it's part of a Confederate heartland offensive. And this was an offensive through Tennessee and Kentucky, almost reaching Indiana, not quite, in a place called Perryville, Kentucky, in the northern part of the state here. Now, we only have about 18,500 men, whereas the enemy has 52,000. It ain't gonna be an easy fight, boys, but we're gonna try to make it the best fight we can. Our goal is to actually reach Perryville and set up defenses before the Union forces led by Don Carlos Buell get there, but I don't know how realistic a goal that is. Now, if you like this kind of battle and you want to see some more of this game, you know what you gotta do. Right at the start, hit that like button, drop a comment down below in support of either Braxton Bragg or Don Carlos Buell, and of course subscribe to my channel. Well, without further ado, let's get into the fight. Alright, the enemy is some 10,000 strong under General Sill encamped across the Salt River. We've got to be careful because they're 10,000 strong now, but they've got reinforcements arriving. So it's asking us here to attack the enemy in the front while another general, well, we're going to have to lead both attacks, attacks them in the rear. That's going to basically force us to split our troops up here, split two armies up essentially, and send them in two different directions. So I think I'm going to have to micromanage here. We're going to have to take Leonidas Polk, and we're going to put Leonidas Polk's force right over here. We'll go ahead and have him advance. And then we're going to take General Hardy's force, Major General William Hardy, and we are going to send him right over here to the Springfield Pike. And in fact, I want to get to where Liddell is. Not Chuck Liddell, this is not the UFC, but Liddell is a very effective infantry general, and essentially he's very good at defending. He's going to try to hold that damn location this entire time as our great army moves into position, and we're going to trust the dispatcher's suggestions, we're going to trust high command suggestions, and we're going to take that force over here, pretty much hang out in this area in the north. We're going to send the main force under Hardy across, try to engage the enemy over here at Peters Hill, and then we're going to try to send this force through Squire Bottom, maybe through the Dixville Crossroads, maybe just down over here to the south of Doctors Creek, and we're going to smash the enemy from behind. Now, of course, this is going to take a while to actually happen, guys, so what I'm going to do is do what I do in my... come on, Agrippa, is go ahead and proceed how I proceed in my Gravity Tactics videos. Will return when the fighting begins. I think that's the most important test of a man's character, is the fighting. So let's make sure to do that. And there we go. Army is on its way. Of course, with such a large move like that, it does take a little longer than one would expect, because we got to get those dispatches out to a bunch of different soldiers. I am going to have to micromanage and leave one unit behind just to properly hold the Perryville area here, but the rest of them can continue on their way. Now, our men are just now arriving at the battlefield, folks, and this has taken a bit just to get here, and I think what I want to do is take advantage of this forested area, so we are going to order all of our infantry, Brown's Brigade, etc., to advance, and we're going to do something else with Polk. Of course, Polk is supposed to help us to counterattack the enemy, or really flank attack the enemy, but the problem is, you're going to see the distance we have to cover to make that happen, and we're not going to be arriving with speed, if that makes sense. We're going to be arriving a little bit later than expected. In the meantime, I am just going to go ahead and set up the rest of the army, get them in here. We've still got some boys that have to arrive. In fact, we don't have to leave all these men behind. We just have to leave one of these infantry units behind. So I'm going to send this guy up. And let's just proceed forward. The rest of our men will proceed forward once they receive the dispatches. And that's, of course, going to come from our general. It's cavalry that's going to carry out orders to these men. And I'm going to take Polk's unit. Let's go ahead and grab him. We're going to have to go this way, over to Peters. Now, this is a bit of a strange move, but this is what we've been suggested to do. We don't have to follow these orders, but it's a suggestion, and I think I'm going to take it, since the AI in this game typically knows what we have to hold, what we don't have to hold, etc. The Army of the Mississippi, what we need to do is actually take one of these other forces, preferably a cavalry force, although I'm not seeing any cavalry, and take the Manville Road here. So we are setting up. We are certainly engaged, guys, in every sense of the word. We are engaged here. I want to see, why are these guys not moving forward? Colonel Thomas, have you not received your orders? There we go. I see him. I see him arriving. I see him arriving. It's just taking a little while. Braxton Bragg is all the way back at, over here at the town of Perryville. I'd like to move. I would like him to move forward a little bit, so we might go ahead and grab Braxton Bragg and push him forward. This way, orders will actually get to our men a lot faster, of course. So let me grab Hardy. Actually, Hardy will do as well. We don't necessarily need Bragg. Hardy will do. No, no, that's what I didn't want to happen. That's what I didn't want to happen. So, I guess we'll redraw the line here. Again, just trying to force our men forward a bit, so it's not the end of the world. We're still essentially doing what we wanted to there, but now we've got to send out all those dispatches. That's why I did not want to select the general at all. There is a way to move him individually, of course. But there we go. Dispatches are arriving, and the men are moving the way we want them to. They're advancing into the woods. This is where we, of course, want to engage most of the Union forces. And I want to send some men through these woods as well. So I'm going to go ahead and push these forces through. Go ahead and grab Claiborne's unit. These guys have mixed muskets. I love how some of the Confederate forces look like federal forces. Again, many of our forces are state militia, so it's not at all strange that they've got this this Union-looking garb. They look like federal troops. Now, Liddell is doing an amazing job, guys, holding on several units while we, of course, get into position. I have to say, it really is just incredible what he's doing here. Now, I'm going to try to send Adams up here to assist, but I'm not so sure we can really assist in this situation. It would take quite a lot. Let's just make sure that those couriers are on the way. It does take them a while, but you can see them traveling up the road to our units to, of course, order them into position. Now, we could take the Bow Lane with artillery. I don't usually take locations with artillery, but I'll sacrifice an artillery piece to try and take that area. I want to try to move this arty piece up over here. All right. Our boys getting into position on the Springfield pike. Now, what I'd like to do is actually get them over here, so they'll actually have some cover behind the fence. Now, someone's going to have to stay behind because of Perryville. I'm just going to have Patton Anderson. He's a brigadier general here, but he's superseded by Hardy, so us moving him isn't going to change the positioning of his men unless we wanted to. We're going to keep him back there. Again, just to hold the area. We're coming up here to support Liddell against the Union. And look at that. Oh, no. I thought we were being flank attacked. Once again, with the mixed uniforms, that must have caused a lot of confusion. So there we go. I'm also going to grab these boys and just push them deeper into the forest. Yeah, like that. Do the same with these guys. Push them deeper into the forest. We want to try and take every natural advantage we can. So if we can get some men deeper into the woods there, then that's what we need to do. We need to get them in there and fighting as soon as possible. Come on, boys. I'm going to simply turn them around here so they're facing the right direction and they can engage any of these Union forces. I actually would like them to engage the Union force heading for the woods, because I don't want the Union forces getting into these woods. We need them. Let's hit the 37th Brigade. Come on, woods boys. Get them. Yeah, it would be nice to actually have a few more units over here. I'm going to make sure we have one of our artillery pieces here on Bottom Hill. We are arriving, of course. Alright, nice. We got some engagement going on. So far, holding off the enemy very well here. And if we can get a flank attack, that would be even better. I think we certainly can. Fortunately, Liddell was forced back, and I knew it was only going to be a matter of time. This is not an easy position for Liddell to be in. It just isn't. He was holding off that entire force for so long. So, of course, he's going to pull back to make sure that Claiborne at least holds the area a little longer. In fact, we can see the casualties dealt here to the 36th Brigade. We've already done 277 casualties, although I'd like to do even more. And, of course, that includes wounded, killed, etc. It's a mix of both. It's absolutely a mix of both. We can actually use him to hold certain positions, you know, like for instance, Perryville, which we don't currently have forces at. Because he's pretty badly beaten up. I don't see him coming back to the fight, to be honest with you. Alright, nice. Getting that infantry back in the forest, yeah, back in the woods. After a slight delay. Let's actually get our artillery right there. I love this. We're overwhelming the cornfield with our men. We seem to be holding the enemy off at multiple locations, including over here at the woods. That doesn't seem to be going too well for them, but who knows? Let's actually take a look at their numbers here. Now, this is part of the Army of the Ohio. Only 173 casualties. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. So we do have to be concerned about that. Let's see if we got any infantry back here. We do have some infantry units, but it's going to take a while for them to get here. And I mean a while. Of course, we're trying to get behind the enemy army to get to Doctor's Creek. And that's just going to take a few hours. It's not going to be an overnight... It might be an overnight thing. It's not going to be an over 20 minutes, over 10 minutes thing. It's going to take a while. Here we go. Beautiful. Colonel Thomas Jones, engage. Engage, sir. We are immediately going to start engaging here. I know that we've got the enemy outflanked. Right now, he's outflanked by our units, and it actually shows there. In fact, both of them are outflanked. That's why they want to stop this forced move so desperately. It's not good for the Union. No way. Fire! Dangerously outflanked at this point. It's looking wonderful here. Let's see how we're doing against these guys over by the woods, the 37th Brigade. 320 casualties, a little bit better, but we've got to improve that. And that's why, of course, we're bringing up some additional infantry units just to make sure that they go straight to the enemy, start engaging. We got him on this really weird track here. But, of course, we can prioritize one order over another and cancel that order as well. I'm not going to cancel the order, though, because I'm very afraid that I'm going to mess something up and change the orders of the entire Army command, so I am just not even going to do that. Fire. We got our arty here. This is what we need. It's on a bit of a strange trajectory, but I think we can still get some hits with these two cannons. Maybe not with that third one. Just have to wait and see, but I'm glad that they're finally engaging the enemy. Keep it up. Now look at that. Courier is arriving for the Union force, and I hope he's being ordered to retreat, because it looks like Wood's Brigade here is actually wavering a bit. With a loss of only 173 men, that's a bit upsetting. They shouldn't be wavering this early on, but they are. The unit's still outflanked. They're still trying to take a position over here. 37th Brigade, and we've got to do something about that. Might have to send in the Johnson Brigade to engage. Might be something we have to do. And since these enemies are outflanked, I want to engage them. So let's switch targets here. You guys are going to have to deal with it. Come on, Woods Brigade. Fire! Fire at the 37th. Now, they are outflanked, and they are outside of the woods. No pun intended. So maybe we can actually do some damage here. Set up for a fire and start engaging. Now, we'll set up this unit once again on the other side of the fence. We're really trying to use cover effectively. But the idea here is to do so much damage to the 35th Brigade that we order a general retreat. Fire! Give them hell, boys. Send them back to Washington. And it looks like Johnson's Brigade, despite being very well trained here, regulars, they have not really taken too many casualties, which is wonderful for us. And it does look like that Union Brigade is looking worse for wear, as our men are just continuously engaging them from the woods. Look at all those dead Union men on the ground. That's what we want to see, and that army continues to try and outflank the enemy. Let's take a look at it from up here. So we're getting very close, actually, to outflanking them. Very close. I want to make sure, though. Adams, you stay here, boy. Just get back here, you crazy. Just stay there. Keep Perryville under our control. Victory points win the day, boys. We also got Bull Lane, but I haven't sent much in terms of defense over there, and I don't plan to. It looks like, unfortunately, Jones' Brigade here, and they are regulars, but they did break against the Union, and that's embarrassing, especially since we had them in a really nice position here. We still do, and could really do a lot of damage here. So I want to push forward a bit. Get up there with Johnston's men. I just want to make sure Johnston engages. That's got to be confusing to some of the men on the field. And let's take a look at 35th Brigade. I do believe they're going to break any second now. Look at that, 615 casualties. Absolutely, they're going to break. It's just a matter of time. Ah, nice. These guys are still firing at range. Colonel Samuel Powell with the Springfield rifle musket, and that's why. Springfield, of course, a bit longer in terms of range and maybe even accuracy too, but definitely a favorite rifle at the time. Keep firing that Springfield here, or is it the Spencer rifle? The Spencer was another favorite at the time. Push that artillery even closer. Now, right now, what we're trying to do, of course, is use that fence for cover. It seems to be working out really well, but the Union does have some pretty good morale, I have to say. They're not ones to break quickly. Put it that way. Get them, boys. Get them. Huzzah! Casualty is not 100% accurate. Of course, the game is still in early access, so there are some issues with the casualty reports. It was 615 before. It's got to be up to, I don't know, 800, 780 or something like that right now. So again, it's just a matter of time. But I do want to take these units and start facing the Union here. They're waiting for reinforcements from Doctor's Creek, of course. But these guys sort of seem to be focusing over here on their friends. And that's good for us. It gives us time to move into position. Although what I don't like is, look at that. These guys have continued. The 37th Brigade. We're going to have to take one of these infantry units out and focus on them, even though I don't really want to, and actually have a gunfight across a canal here. So no real danger of a charge. We're just going to be exchanging rounds. Finally, we got the 35th Brigade to break off and leave. That's what we needed, folks. Now we can turn our full attention here to the Union usurpers ahead of us. So let's do it. Just switch. Yeah, there we go. Push forward. I don't want him coming back, but I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. We're even going to try to engage him over here at the edge of the woods. So everybody's moving in for the attack here. Well, all our infantry in any case. And I want to make sure that all of these artillery pieces are here defending the Springfield Pike, because we know that we're going to have to defend this from enemy counterattacks. But if we get a good setup here, if we have the woods under our control, we can turn that into a shooting gallery. And I think, who knows, could come up with a really, really nice victory here. So there's Liddell's brigade. I am going to send him back into the fight. 265 men lost out of a brigade of 1,000 is pretty devastating, no matter which way you cut it. So we'll hope that he's willing to fight again, but we'll have to wait and see. Now it looks like, look at that, the Federals are falling back to the Doctor's Creek, and that's exactly where we've got the other part of our army, led by Polk, going. So hopefully we can hit the already battered and bruised Union at the Doctor's Creek and smash this force once and for all. That being said, I want you guys to keep in mind, I think most of you guys have this in mind, that this is a very long battle. Despite being one of the shorter and smaller battles of the American Civil War, this could take us a few episodes to get through, because they might be moving back with Sherman's forces. Those are the forces we're facing right now, but they could be arriving with a lot more. And we know for sure that they've got a lot more men than we do in the long run here. So we want to be very careful and just start setting up a defense, start getting guys in the woods here, prepare to fight and take the most advantage we can of the current cover allowed. I think that's going to be very important. All the Confederacy, boys, keep firing, keep firing. I love that we're firing here from the woods as well, although I'd like to get one more infantry unit there into the woods, just to boost up the firepower. Well, it looks like, look at that, Liddell is back for more. Sorry, this is Powell's men. Powell's back for more. We can go ahead and push him right on through, although it looks like Brown is already on that. And again, I will engage on enemy artillery as well, just to make sure, deny the enemy any sort of fire superiority here, and terrify those artillerymen. I think they're going to break pretty quickly here from the Doctor's Creek. You can see a few other units that are just completely crushed. They've fallen back, and so far, I think we absolutely have the initiative in this fight. I would like these forces to be in position even faster. We've got a few forces scattered here, which we could bring back. But in general, I think we're doing all right. There we go. That's why we didn't see any cavalry. Wheeler's all the way over here. So I'm going to send Wheeler to the Bull Run area, just in case the enemy tries to cut us off there. But let's see if Maney, yes, Maney is already engaging that Union force. Amazing how quickly that occurred. And they're there in the canal, so it gives us an opportunity to really just rain down hell on them. Maney hasn't taken a single casualty yet. Not one. Not even a wounded man. 892 killed on the enemy side. It's only a matter of time before that unit breaks for sure. Although we're going to need Maney to keep on moving so that he can assist us cutting off the enemy over here at Peters Hill, at Peters Farm. We need to take Peters Farm to completely cut off that enemy army. And then I think, well, we're on the road to victory, although, of course, still not quite there. Well, guys, I want to thank you for watching this far, and if you enjoyed this series and you want to see more, you know what you got to do. Hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's so important to the future of this channel that you do that. I mean, I just can't tell you. All I can do is ask you guys, but I can't tell you how disappointing it is not to see every single viewer dropping at least a comment. I'm serious, so please keep that in mind. In any case, with this game, I do have some bad news, and that is this. In this particular game, we're only at 10:37 in the morning. Battle started at 8:30 a.m. There is no save file. There's no way to save the actual game itself. There's an autosave feature, but it's only after every day ends. So what I'm going to do is try to keep this tab open. It's incumbent upon you folks to hit that like, subscribe, etc., comment as much as you can, because the faster you do that, the faster I'll upload part 2, and I'm going to try to get that one down immediately. Again, without a save, I'm just going to have to keep this tab open for a while. Thanks again, folks, and all glory to the Confederacy.